Chrono Trigger might be the best game ever. Chrono Trigger, released in 1995 for the Super Nintendo by Squaresoft, was the product of a collaboration between two of the greatest game developers of all time, Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy, and Yuji Horii, the creator of Dragon Quest. Hot off the heels of their greatest games yet, Final Fantasy VI, which revolutionized storytelling in video games with its multi-layered characters, intricate plot, and iconic set pieces, and Dragon Quest V, which laid the foundation of what would become the monster collecting subgenre of the JRPG, paving the way for the Shin Megami Tensei series and eventually Pokemon. What came next from these two developers would surpass both of these iconic games. Collaborating with Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama alongside Final Fantasy composer Nobuo Uematsu, they would become a dream team that set out to create something that nobody had ever done before. The dream project that became Chrono Trigger centers around a young man named Chrono and his ragtag group of misfits as they travel through time across the medieval era, the prehistoric era, and the far-off future to stop an alien parasite from ending the world. Graphically, Chrono Trigger uses an NPR anime style of Akira Toriyama to give its animations a unique feeling compared to others in its genre. As Mausch and Robo state, this creates a sense of immersion in that anime aesthetic. It doesn't move with the same detail or intensity as Dragon Ball Z, but in using the limitations of the SNES hardware and strong animation work, Chrono Trigger creates the magic circle and that sense of immersion that allows our minds to fill in the gaps. The simple but clear goal of the game in defeating Lavos and saving the world serves to benefit its narrative, allowing the characters in the various time periods room to breathe while constantly serving that simple goal. The game is often praised as one of the best of all time due to its strong narrative and the way it's revolutionized the impact of player decisions throughout the game. The now famous court scene, where decisions you make at the very start of the game, such as whether or not you steal this old man's lunch, are used against you. The scene sets up the various ways time travel and the player's decisions affect the world across the different time periods. The introduction of a new game plus also encourages experimentation with the different decisions and routes you didn't, and replayability in sort of allowing the player to take routes they didn't pick initially to unlock all of the different endings. Using Akira Toriyama's style allowed the game to sort of tread a fine tonal line, by including several humorous scenes and animations to offset the sense of even existential dread that parts of the story, such as the post-apocalyptic future, entailed. These forces sort of come together and create this incredible sense of hope that kind of pushes through and makes this story so incredible. The perfection of its narrative has also allowed it to stand the test of time, with various works such as Frederick Norman's A Peaceful World is a Boring World, a study in narrative structure and mythological elements in Squaresoft's Chrono Trigger, and Luis Torres Meza's playable tragedy, ergodic tragedy in Squaresoft's Chrono Trigger, examining the game's narrative from a modern critical perspective, treating it with the same level of respect as any other art form. Chrono Trigger was also a springboard of sorts for a lot of JRPG developers today. Tetsuya Takahashi, now known for the Xeno series of games, Tetsuya Nomura, who later designed the characters of Final Fantasy VII and went on to create Kingdom Hearts, and Yasunori Mitsuda, who later worked on Xenogears and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 alongside Chrono Trigger's sequel, all got their starts here. And sort of ultimately, Chrono Trigger established so many now standard aspects of game design that it can be hard to see how it was so influential from a modern perspective. Yet the storytelling, memorable characters, and that unique anime aesthetic have managed to make the game a timeless classic that everyone should play, regardless of whether or not you notice how influential it was.